Hi, this is Dr. Kirk Megu, TV and podcast host and former university lecturer. When I was lecturing at the university, and for all university lecturers actually, public speaking basically is a major requirement. There are other jobs too that I suppose public speaking is part of it, but definitely, as a teacher, as a lecturer, that is crucially part of it. Yeah, what's so strange? I was never given training in public speaking. I don't think anybody really is, and yet it's such an important part of your job. Uh, I wonder sometimes how people develop their skills. What do they do? I know for me, I had to get over a lot of confidence issues before I could have ever really speak to the public. But I'm talking about things I had to deal with from when I was a teenager, right? And when I was a teenager, I got over a lot my major confidence issues because I did have a lot of them. I don't think I fully conquered them, I suppose. Perhaps we all still have confidence levels depending on how high you're going and what you're doing, I suppose. But I mean, for me, as a young teenager growing up, I was growing up in Toronto, and this is the early 80s, going into high school. Of course, adolescence, going into a new school, everybody faces problems of confidence. Most people do at that time. And on top of that, of course, everybody has their particular stories, whether it be family issues or disabilities or secrets you want to hide or whatever. For me, what compounded it was being a racial minority at the time, and it's very different from today, how the mix was back then. But not only that, I think I came from a school that was far away. It was a Catholic school I went to, so it wasn't a school in my immediate neighborhood. And then I chose a particular one because they were doing computers, and I was really into that in the early 80s. And so I went very far, and there were only a couple other people from my school who went there, and we didn't end up hanging out together because of the cliquishness of high schools in Canada and the United States. Very, very cliquish. I maybe everywhere, but there's a certain type of clique culture there, and I didn't understand the cliques at all, and maybe that's true for most people, but for me, where my primary school was, it was kind of a white working class area, and the culture basically was like rock music and I guess top 40. Music so much was part of identification as a teenager, and but going to this new school, which is bigger, of course, and in a totally different environment. Um, in Toronto, it's the Danforth, so there are a lot of old Italian families, and then at the school there were a lot of Filipinos too, because it's Catholic. But so that means there was a lot of people who were into funk and breakdancing and dance music, which was totally, totally different from where I was. So I was kind of at sea and didn't know who I should be friends with, and looking at all that common sort of problems. But I had these very, very, very deep insecurities. I was very shy, and how I got over it was kind of interesting um, and unusual, totally unexpected. We were supposed to do a book review, and it's because of the book review I did. So I went to the back of the class, spun around a little book rack the teacher had there. I chose the shortest book possible, which is called Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut Jr. I had no idea who he was or what that book was, but he was amazing. It just made me discover a whole new world. I won't get into all the details of it, but what changed me about that book was that every character in that book had some deep flaw. And the thing about the book, I wasn't really a reader, and I chose the shortest book because I didn't like reading. I couldn't believe that was the first book that I ever laughed out loud about. The first book tackling all these kind of taboo issues, these philosophical questions that I'd never seen anybody tackle anywhere. Certainly, it's not done on TV and stuff. I was, raised on TV at that time, and it was amazing. Whole new world opened up, and as you enter the interior worlds of these people, which literature does so amazingly. Um, then I saw that everybody had some sort of problem they were covering up. And when I realized that, I realized, you know what? My teachers, my parents, all the authority figures in my life, everybody has something they want to hide. So really, they're no better than me. And anyway, that just changed everything for me. And all of a sudden, I gained confidence and was able to, be in front of crowds, talk to strangers. I just had this understanding of human frailties and human flaws that I didn't have before reading that book. And so I know that that people have a lot of issues with public speaking and confidence, perhaps. So as part of my Bulletproof podcast formula course and training that I put together some things called Bulletproof Podcast Confidence. No, yeah, Bulletproof Confidence and Bulletproof Public Speaking. So if you have problems in that area, I've got you covered there. I don't know how you've gotten over your issues, but I'd really like to hear it as well. That's my story. So let me hear in the comments. All right. Take care. Bye.